If not taking your seat, please do so this time, and again remain seated for the duration of the ride.
We are now leaving Barber Junction. This station, once located in the town of Barber, 12 miles west of Salisbury, is similar to many small depots found all across North Carolina and the United States through most of the 20th century. The railroad station was a center of commerce, with passengers arriving and departing, packages delivered by Railway Express, and mail brought from larger cities. Our train today is similar to those regularly operated during the 1950s, after diesel locomotives had replaced steam on many passenger runs. Beside us, on the east side of the train, are the current tracks of Norfolk Southern Corporation. The very first rails were installed here by the North Carolina Railroad during the 1850s. They connected Charlotte, Greensboro, and Goldsboro.
Dad, there goes a rail train.
Yeah. What do you think this is?
Norfolk Southern.
Well, folks, looks like we got a northbound freight over there on the main line. For those of you that might be interested, that line out there runs all the way from Washington, D.C. down to New Orleans, Louisiana.
It's called the Crescent Corridor.
In a few moments, the train will change direction and travel on the roundhouse lead. Switching tracks is accomplished by use of a spring switch. The points, or movable rails of the switch, spring to one side as the train passes through them. They will move to their original position after the train is passed. The roundhouse lead was used by engines from the north and south to arrive at the roundhouse for servicing. You may notice that the engineer blows the horn or whistle when he moves the train. Several different signals are required. 3 short blows indicate a backward movement, and 2 short blows indicate a forward movement. These 2 signals, along with others, were used in rail yard operations, so any employee in the yard would know at a moment's notice which direction a train was to be moved. Another signal heard today will be 2 long blasts, 1 short blast, followed by 1 long blast. That is the nationwide signal for approaching a public road or highway rail crossing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we have any visitors here from up north, you may have noticed all those vines covering the trees out there. Folks, that's called kudzu. Please feel free to take home all you want.
Oh, tickets please. You probably know that by now. Tickets please.
As we continue, you'll see the town of Spencer on the west side of the train. Spencer was incorporated in 1905, though houses had been built as early as 1896. This is a true railroad town, having been developed by the Southern Railway for workers at Spencer shops. Electricity for the town was provided by the Southern from the powerhouse located at Spencer shops. A large park was built where you see the shopping center today. It included a bandstand and baseball diamond. The Master Mechanic's office on the east side of the train contained the offices of the Master Mechanic, payroll clerk, office clerks, and officials for the Danville Division of Southern Railway. The back section served as a warehouse for the shops and Danville Division. Anything from tools to paper towels could be obtained here. Renovated in 1980 and again in 1996, the building now houses administrative offices, the History of Transportation exhibit, Wagons, Wheels, and Wings, and the North Carolina Transportation Museum gift station. The second building on the east side is possibly the oldest building on site. Built in 1896, Warehouse Number 3 served as the original Master Mechanic's office, located behind the original 1896 roundhouse. After the new Master Mechanic's office was built, this structure was moved to its current location. It is used for storage purposes and is not open to the public. The third building on the east, built in 1924, is the flue shop. It was originally used to store and repair the flues of a steam locomotive. A flue is a tube that allows heat and smoke from the fire to pass through the boiler, thereby heating the water to create steam. There could be anywhere from 200 to 350 flues inside a boiler. When the railroad changed to diesel power, the building was converted to an electrical shop. Since its restoration, it has served as the automobile display, bumper to bumper, featuring cars from 1900 to 1979 in period settings. Built in 1913, the structure to the east was used for drying, screening, and storing river sand used on locomotives. Sand is used for traction in wet or icy weather on a steep grade or when pulling a heavy load from a complete standstill. It is used by both steam and diesel locomotives. Just south of the sand house is the foundation of the coal tower. The tower was built by Fairbanks Morse and was filled by a drag bucket from a yard that held 10,000 tons of coal. Tower operators used chutes to load coal into tenders. A fuel car pulled just behind the locomotive that contained coal and water. This tower could accommodate 4 engines at one time. The area to the east of our train is where the stockyards were located. Animals destined for market would be taken off the trains to be fed and watered here. A federal law from the 1880s stated that no livestock could be moved by rail for more than 28 hours at a time without a 5-hour rest stop. The pens could hold 20 carloads of livestock. Animals are no longer hauled by train. Instead, trucks now carry this commodity to market. The pens were dismantled in 1960. An interesting blue law from the late 1890s to early 1900s stated that freight trains could not operate on Sundays unless animals needed to be moved. This was during a time when all businesses were closed and the sale of items was prohibited on Sundays. Workers on the railroad, however, would pick up a single mule on Sundays and carry it on the train with them, thereby technically hauling an animal and not breaking the law. Past the stock pens were the transfer sheds, located just at the point where we will end this part of the ride. Up to 350 freight cars a day could have their freight transferred from truck to rail car, helping local merchants who did not have their own railroad spur to send and receive goods. These sheds were rated the largest north of Atlanta because of the amount of freight handled in a given year. The transfer sheds, along with the stock pens, were torn down in the 1960s.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're now approaching the southern terminus of our ride. Very shortly we're going to come to a complete stop and then reverse direction, so remember it's important that everyone please remain seated. As I said earlier, we are going to return to Barber Junction, but we're going to make a stop, a courtesy stop, at the Roundhouse. Anyone who'd like to leave us at that point will be given the opportunity to do so. Now, if you are going to leave us at the Roundhouse, I'm going to ask you to please remain in your seat until the conductor informs us it is safe to leave the train. There are a couple reasons for this. First of all, there is no platform at the Roundhouse, so we have to put out a step box because of the extended distance to the ground. Secondly, our engineer has to lock down the brakes to make sure the train does not move while you're walking through it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to leave us at the Roundhouse, please remain in your seat until the conductor informs us it is safe to leave the train. And again, fair warning, if you do leave us at the Roundhouse, you will have to walk back to the parking lot. This is the last train ride of the day. Now, for those of you that want to go back to the Barber Junction Depot in the parking lot area with us, Just remain in your seats. We only stop at the roundhouse long enough to discharge passengers. We do not remain at that location. Thank you.